Hello and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizen with members of the community. I'm here with my co-host, GriffinGamingRPG. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Another Thursday?
Yeah, another Thursday, another week. How's the week been going?
No complaints. Nothing new to tell this week, I don't think, either.
Hmm.
What do you mean?
Trying to see if I can...
Why you say like that? Why do you say
Nothing new to tell. I'm hoping that you would stretch the conversation while I try to get the YouTube.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, I gotta fill it. I gotta fill in some stuff. Okay, I'll fill in for you.
No, I think probably it's not working. There we go. We got it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we got that good.
We're okay. Okay.
So my week, I've been reading a book where the main characters remind me of Kaizen.
Really?
The military people with foul mouths and great comedic humor. It's called the book series is called The 10 Realms. So it's basically modern day military people being transported into another world. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that.
Okay, that sounds different.
And I'm still watching The Expanse.
I was going to ask you how you've been doing with The Expanse recently.
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. Yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm enjoying it. And thank you, Thakazog, for the Soulmate.
Oh, wow. Hey, thanks, Thakazog. Thanks for joining the YouTube family. We appreciate that. You know, I've been delving. I hate to say this, but I've been really hyped up ever since the trailer for Obi-Wan came out. And I have just been delving more and more into some of the Star Wars legends and lore stuff. And so that's one thing that has kind of had me captivated a little bit. I'm excited. That's May 25th or something like that. So it's not that far away. It's just about...
or maybe something else in June.
No, May. You know, Star Wars is always May the 4th, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I was a little reluctant about it because after a while you start thinking, okay, they're turning these out too much. But it looks pretty interesting, especially if you I know you are familiar with Clone Wars and Rebels. It definitely reminds me of stuff.
I watched Rebels. I did not watch Clone Wars. I got to go back and watch that.
Oh no! Oh, you've got to. Absolutely, you've got to absorb that stuff in.
And I just resubbed to another year of Disney Plus, so I'll have time.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why I never got to it. I have a whole year to get around to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you get time, I mean, really eat it up because you see where Filoni and them are going with trying to tie all the loose ends up with these new series that they're putting out, and they're doing a real good job at it. At least I think they're doing a good job at it.
Okay, cool. So are you ready for me to do my thing?
Yeah, let's hear what you got.
First I got to ask, are you eating?
No.
Okay.
And you're going to and evidently you're going to make me start drinking after I hear this, but go ahead.
And Twitch chat, make sure that you have the volume or mute button ready, okay? So this is something that the species Kreetok and Star Citizen.
Yeah.
So this is a little thing, something I picked up from them. They're not really known, but here we go. That's about as sane, my telly, water tie, tippy tie on my capital, Manatine Betty, all around my damie. See me na 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 na. See me na 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 na. Every time on my clammy D's, penny time on my damie King. I'm a quite a booster. I'm a quite a booster. Hang on, I gotta leave a bowl of milk outside my door.
I'm not going to do anything but bring people down for this one.
Oh, shit. He went there.
Okay. I'm not going to even try to touch that.
He
Hello,
went
everybody.
there. He went
Hey,
there.
peoples.
Hi, everybody. We've got Pops, Kalrati, Gomob, Fist, and Admiral Kusanagi joining us tonight. And of course, if you guys want to join us, all you have to do is click on the link and come over from our Discord, and you could be a part of the, I would say fun, but after that last demonstration, I'm just saying you'll be a part of what's going on tonight. So, anybody got any shots at where fastcart was going?
I'll leave it to the others.
I got nothing.
Kalrati says, I got nothing.
You had a
Yeah.
little sha-na-na in there, which makes me think he was doing the Brady Bunch. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Sha-na-na-na-na.
Okay, that's a good get. That's
And
a
it's
good
time
one.
to
Yeah.
change. You
Mhm.
have to rearrange.
Right. Oh man, I remember that song too.
Oh,
I
hang on. I
remember
got a
that.
DM. Let me read what the DM says. It said, I sound more like a Kalrati from the Wing Commander on their deathbed. I never played Wing Commander. Is that a good thing?
The Kalrati were the enemy, so we can start there.
Okay. All right.
I was.
Oh, I got another DM. It said, if that's how
The
the tree
Kalrati.
touchdowns, I'm getting a refund. Wait, what?
Can I give a hint to let y'all know what it's from?
You can go ahead and kill us with it, as far as I'm concerned. But feel free, give us a hint.
Oh my god.
Chris Rock.
No, it doesn't help me at all.
Doesn't help me. Okay. Wanda Sykes.
No, doesn't help me at all.
No.
Early 2000.
what's it?
Early 2000.
All right.
What's it? JP. What's his name?
Let me throw this. This
JP Smoove.
this might help. This might help. Okay. The astronauts used to drink it back in the day. So it was like they used to drink Tang.
Oh, and that Pootie Tang? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to turn my black card in after that
That's
one.
it.
But okay.
That's it. That's
Well,
it.
I did kind of
You're
butcher it,
correct.
so I think you got an excuse.
No,
Yeah,
actually, that was one of the ones that I wouldn't have got it. So I'll give it. If it was recognizable, that means you did a good job, and they recognized it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey man, just
you
tip
cannot-
the towel and slam me down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not only blame us, but you can also blame GoMab too.
Okay. All
Why
right.
the time,
So
my name?
all of us gonna catch the heat on it.
Hey, look. Just side eye.
Yeah.
Side eye.
Chaikumo, my Damie.
All I got to say
Alright.
is this: one time, Kalrati was glad he's down in the islands. That's all I got to say.
That's a cold Tony. That's a cold Tony. Sign your pity on a running card.
All right, so let's get on to the sneak peek, shall we? So I have the sneak peek in Discord, and it should be on Twitch soon. So yeah, there we go.
We're not on Twitch.
I'm sorry, YouTube. Sorry, yeah, that's gonna be a hard thing for me to get used to. Thank you. But I did put the YouTube link in Twitch, so it should be good. So people can come in if they get the link. But it says Rundown and Stranded, Much Tech the Bandit. And evidently that's from a song. I had to look it up. But did anyone recognize the song lyric?
No.
Not that one.
What do people think this screenshot is from?
Pyro, right?
Probably some more pyro.
You know,
ever
it
since
looks
they
like
stopped
bar and
ever since-
pyro somewhere.
Yeah, ever since they stopped putting the hint in the file name, it's been harder for me to guess what to explain. No, it's probably Pyro, you're right. Yeah, but the song is from The Bandit by the Kings of Leon.
Okay.
I just don't see a need to me to actually go in this place.
If you want information.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tetanus.
it's dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah.
Tetanus. Yeah.
I mean,
Let me ask you guys
a lot of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, let me ask you guys a question. I've heard quite a few content streamers, not quite a few, who said that they're kind of getting tired of seeing this dreary, quote unquote, pyro stuff, right? I mean, when you see more and more of this stuff, is it getting you excited about pyro, or are you kind of seeing it's like, just like another dirty room? Are you ready to see something different? You know, are we sure this is Pyro for that matter? I'm assuming it is, but how do you guys feel about this? That CIG's been kind of churning these out the last few weeks.
It's a
Last few weeks. That's been months.
yeah.
Well, I'm just saying weeks because it's picks of the week, and I know the last 3 or 4 weeks they've been literally every week it's been something like this.
Well, I believe it was Nubifier that said it on the show. Pyro is the hot topic. It's what everybody's expecting. It's it's the it thing. So I guess they're making sure we know that. Yeah.
Is CIG setting themselves up? I mean, if Pyro doesn't show up this year, is this kind of making people anticipate that we are going to see it?
They will get hit hard.
I don't think there's going to be another Squadron 22 from 2016.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think they're going to do that again. But go ahead.
oof.
That's been my main concern. I mean, it seems as though they definitely committed to it. But the only reason why I remain concerned is because, like at least they told us in the server meshing Q&A, we got to get global persistence first before we can get server meshing first. All right. We don't have that foundational core pillar in the game yet, which is definitely important to come in before they definitely go hands down into server meshing. But it seems as though from the sneak peeks that they are committed to releasing server meshing whenever it is. So my only assumption is that they're going to be pushing this down or just going with it because there is some measure of certainty. So whether or not they're kind of risking it, possibly, but at least given that they were confident in some way to show us the methodology of giving us server meshing, it could mean that they're at a point where they are confident that they can start marketing Pyro if all of the pictures really are from Pyro. So I would say there's a 70% chance that they're confident enough to not risk this, and who knows, maybe a 30% chance that.
Yeah, I want to say 85% chance. Close to 90%.
Really? Yeah.
Good point there, Mr. Calrati.
Calrati, do you think that a part of that path is the refueling? Because you have to have refueling, correct, in Pyro in order to have Pyro. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. There seems to be some things like some signs that they're definitely getting things ready for Pyro. Like another example is the reputation, right? It wouldn't have made sense for us to go into Pyro with the traditional reputation where, for example, you imagine us going to Pyro and we still have UEE as the faction ID, right? Another example is Ninetales. They had to do a bit of a jig to kind of force criminals to people to not get attacked by Ninetales. But now we're seeing in the next phase of reputation, they're going to be allowing us to get that faction ID ready, and so that we don't have to be or have that hard-coded UEE thing. So there is some measure of confidence. It's not just from the pictures, but from some of the features that they're slowly rolling out across different across different game aspects. So I would say quite confident to some extent that they can continue marketing this.
Can I ask you a question, if that's okay, Karate?
Yeah, sure.
Now, in reputation, in your opinion, if you can answer, what is it exactly in reputation that would go along with Pyro?
Right. So, for example, we have faction, the faction system, or I guess reputation may be tied to the faction system, where, for example, if you were to earn or continue doing Ninetales missions or Vaughn missions, you eventually get on the good side with Vaughn, and he may be represented. He may represent a particular organization. Let's say, may not be correct, but let's say Ninetales or some kind of Pyro organization. So as a result of our reputation gain with Vaughn, if compared to the other orgs or to the other mission givers, our reputation is maxed out with him compared to the others, then that could possibly give us an opportunity to have a faction ID that is representative of a gang or criminal organization in Pyro, which means that because of the work that they're doing with the reputation system, we can possibly go into Pyro and not be attacked by everybody. We won't have that UEE faction tied to our ID. It could be some other faction or some other faction ID because of the reputation work. So that's why I think that they're putting this groundwork into reputation and then some other things to get us ready for Pyro.
Okay, I get you. Thank you.
To go off your question, Griff, I think it's a little much, with all this like all these dreary pictures. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing some stuff that says this isn't pyro, and not say where it is. I would be totally cool with that. Um, and
But
if it's just
pyro.
just a screenshot, it's just like, oh, this is a dreary thing. This is a lot of trash. Here's some more trash. Hey, check out this video. We'll show you some trash. And we kind of understand that pyro's going to be run down. It's going to be like lawless and I guess holding on by a thread. But like like Kilradi was saying, like it is going to need like fuel. Like there are a lot of people who think that there's going to be a lot of places more than just one place to get fuel. Like it's just not going to be that one station. And maybe there are a couple more, but I think it's going to be few and far between. Especially how big it is, especially since they're talking about the Liberator, which hasn't come out, which I kind of think they should be pushing out the door if they're going to get pyro in, because of how you're going to get light fighters over there. This doesn't make any sense not to have it in before pyro. I guess, well, to not have it in before you release it. And certainly the refuel being the Starfarer right now. I'm wondering if they're working on the what is it, the Vulcan, for that fuel capability as well. I just think that like you said, I just feel like it's too much dreary stuff. I kind of want them to get smooth out Stanton a little bit, like get more NPCs that are doing something, that are talking together, that are just seem more like a finished project in that regards, and then push out beyond that, like have like better missions. And
Well, I mean, now that's good, but we're talking about in relation to sneak peeks now, because now you're talking about actual game mechanics. But I get your point. I think that my issue isn't that it's pyro; it's the fact that it's the same thing of pyro. I'd love to be able to see what stations look like. I'd love to see what an orbital of one of the moons look like. I just want to see more of pyro than just these interiors. That's
like
I have a
outside.
theory. I have a theory about that.
Wow. So let me go real quick. Go, man. Joe Kusanagi, check it. Yo, G, I heard you like fast inside your trash. Go ahead.
You made me wait for that.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I believe we're getting these pictures here because that's what's being worked on and cranked out by that studio that's working on it, right? So they're getting lots of updates. A lot of the other stuff that they're working on, it'd be really hard for them to kind of show us progress on it because it'll be code, right? So this is, the art stuff that they're working on. I think they did show us some exteriors of some stations before, and I don't think they're really going to be doing much more to that.
Yeah, go map. I don't think that's not concept art. Those images they've been showing us are not concept art.
Right. Yeah,
those are actual images of the game. And what I'm saying is, I want to see an actual moon. I don't have to see great detail, but I want to see some other things in pyro. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, I know that there are things that they finished a long time ago, and even the exteriors of some of the stations. We saw those gray box ones long time ago. I don't have to see Ruin Station. I know Ruin Station was the one that they were really working on, but there's other stuff in pyro, and I'm just saying, I don't care if it's just seeing the sun in pyro. I just want to see more, other than
see one of these dirty rooms.
Right.
I agree with
trash tech is really, they built out tools to build trash tech. and then you can see the work has gone into spreading trash throughout pyro. I mean, they really stuck their foot in that.
Trash is looking better and better. Yeah.
Hey, wait till they introduce procedural trash. Okay.
That's where
I've got a feeling that they may, especially to answer Griff's question, they may have started a little too early. Maybe as we get closer to pyro, they'll start ramping out the good stuff. And when I say, this is good stuff, right? But we'll see, more fleshed out things, like the other stuff, like the planets and those things that we really want to see, like the jump point, maybe, or a glimpse or a sneak peek of the jump gate. So maybe in that regard, they may have started a little too early, unless they've got a plan, right? But I guess this all goes back to how confident they are that they can actually keep this up, until the point where they can really ramp out the stuff and are sure that, okay, on this point, tentatively, we really can release server meshing and pyro. But just in case, let's put in these teasers. We don't want to ramp out the good stuff, and then when we get closer, it's like, oh, we got to delay this for another 3 months.
Well, that's why I actually think they got rid of the roadmap, but that's another topic entirely. So.
Right.
All right. So I think that's enough for Pyro for today. We'll obviously see more in the future, but yeah, this is just the latest sneak peek. And Shiva, you asked, you said, I think you heard me crying earlier. Am I okay? I'm fine, Shiva. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. So up next we have, this is about the chairman update. Carlotta, you posted this earlier, and I want to thank you for that. But this is just, I'm going to read it. It should be on your screen. As mentioned in our last update, we've been working on an additional benefit to those who go above and beyond supporting Star Citizen Squadron 42. We're happy to announce that it began tomorrow. Starting at 12 p.m. Central Time, March 18th, a Star Citizen digital download will be added for free to the High Admiral Reward Pledge. Additionally, we are pleased to inform you that the Chairman's Club members that have Squadron 42 active in their hangars before the distribution begins tomorrow will also receive a free Squadron 42 digital download. The Squadron 42 digital download benefit is exclusive to Chairman members who have previously purchased Squadron 42 and will not be attributed after the description time mentioned above. That means once you reach concierge status, the digital download will be permanently added to your account, which gives you the ability to easily melt any package and not lose game access to Star Citizen or Squadron 42 if you meet the above criteria.
Oh my God!
Really?
This is big. I like it.
Will take up to 72 hours, so keep this in mind as we roll this out to all the Chairman's Club. We hope this additional perk to the concierge program will provide more flexibility to your fleet management. I'm not even going to finish that. That's some Latin. But
this is big. I have to jump in. I'm glad. Thank you so much. Thank you, CIG. Now this is a quality of life right here. There you go.
Now is this once you get into Evocati, you get that? I mean, not
no.
I'm concierge. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
How much is High Admiral?
That's the first level that you get to 5,000.
So 1,000.
5,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it 1,000? Is it 1,000?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's 1,000. I'm sorry. High Admiral.
Yeah, it's concierge.
Yeah, concierge.
1,000.
But the hook in there was that you have to have the package already. Don't forget.
Yeah. So if it's in your buyback, you
buy
buy
today
now before the deadline.
Good. I'm just glad though, because that jams you up sometimes when you're trying to CCU and do stuff like that.
Okay, so I can actually, because I made a mistake and upgraded to the Inferno on my Squadron 42 and
yeah.
So now I can melt it and not lose anything.
Wait till tomorrow.
Well,
wait till it shows up in your hangar.
Exactly.
Because it could take up to 72 hours.
I gotta buy the stupid Squadron 42 thing now. So
okay.
So that I can get that money back tomorrow, or I guess by the end of the weekend.
That is good.
It's a good thing just to check what you have, because in the early days when you used to buy, you used to get both Star Citizen and Squadron 42 together. Some people didn't get that package back in the early days. So just go back and look and make sure and see what you got to make sure you got it. That's all.
The Great Divorce of 2017, I believe. It happened
2016, actually.
But yeah, I mean, I have 3 packages. Well, I have 4 packages, but 3 of them have Squadron 42 in it. So I guess I don't have any intention of melting out of them, any of them, because they all have LTI now. So, I mean, it's good. The thing I'm wondering about is that they're giving us an additional Squadron 42 package. Will it be giftable or will it be bound to our account? I think it'll be bound.
Good question.
No, it just means you'll have it and you won't have to consider buying that game package if you want to use that store credit that you get from melting that package to buy another ship.
Yeah,
Alright.
you'll just be. That's why it's an attribution. It'll be attributed to your account at that point.
Right.
So it's like they're giving you
It's like-
$15 or $23. However
it's,
much.
it's like what happened
the
with
game
Arena Commander back in the day. We all got like $5 back because from Arena Commander.
So I meant the Squadron 42 is $45. So if I spend
Now.
$45 on Squadron 42 by Sunday or next week, I should be able to use that money. I should be
You
able
got
to
to do
melt
it
it.
by noon Central tomorrow.
I'm doing it right now, fastcart. I don't have time to wait for
Okay.
that. Ain't nobody got time to wait for that.
That wallet done flipped out. All right.
Yeah, you'll be able to use
so-
that. You should be able to use that $45 package to, if it's in your hangar, you should be able to then melt it and use that $45 as store credit to buy something else.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. So
That
that's
is the
good news
theory.
That's good news for us concierge members. I'm pretty sure people who are not concierge are going to be flipping out about it. But yeah, what can you do?
Get concierge.
I'm only 160 away. I'm not in that big of a hurry.
150. You could get you can get some
No.
gift
No.
cards. Gift cards.
Right?
No,
You can get some gift cards.
nope.
It'll get there naturally, right, DK? It'll get there naturally.
I'm a subscriber. It'll be there by the end of the year.
Yeah,
There
but
you
do you have
go.
a Squadron 42 package?
Nope.
Well, you need
I'm
to
not.
get it.
I'm not dropping any money tonight.
Alright, I hear
Can't
you.
convince me otherwise.
I'm not trying to, just asking. All right,
I love
so
y'all.
I think that's it for that. Up next, we have the roadmap roundup. Griffin, you want to highlight some of these changes?
I'll hit it as best I can. The main things that were placed in here were that there were 2 things taken away, 2 things added. The Planet Tech team, higher priority was placed on continuing work on the internal tools that allow for far quicker generation of planet terrain, foliage, and bodies of water, and more, which they talked about in the last ISC. So terrain, snow displacement, and destructible environments both are going to be removed, taken off the progress tracker until they can properly prioritize, when they reschedule. So those 2 things are taken off. And then the 2 things that were added are the foliage shader and the ocean shader, which will give greater realism to vegetation. It'll also allow for colors of plants to change when there's a climate change or season change. And then, of course, the oceans, we already know they're working on rivers and stuff. They're just kind of expanding on that as well, so that it'll look really, really cool, whether you're up close on it or even from an orbital position. And that's been added to the Planet Tech team schedule.
Cool. Any comments? Any? I'm looking forward to the changes. They're supposed to be in 317, correct?
Yes. This is the progress tracker changing. Yes. Mm-hmm.
The progress tracker. So that
Yes,
means
progress tracker.
They're just shifting priorities from one team to another.
Yep. Nothing's
It's
being
just
thrown in.
Yep, nothing's going in. It's just normal development. It's just how it works. Teams are working on one thing. It's like, oh, well, let's just switch over to this one. We got pretty much a lot of this, maybe 80-90% of it done. We'll get to the 10% when we get this other piece finished, and then maybe all tie in together. It's just par for the course. Nothing's getting deleted and going away and never getting worked on again.
Oh, I love you, DK.
Those are pretty big. Snow displacement.
Yeah.
That's like I take a shovel and I move it and I throw it over there. That's kind of like some serious, tech.
Well, there's been questioning both about that and the destructible stuff, right? What does that mean from CIG? We saw a little while ago where the guy did the grenade launcher and he made an indentation into the surface, but we don't know to what degree that destruction is going to be if it's going to be on buildings or what, so.
I think snow displacement is more like, if you ever played Red Dead Redemption 2,
Mm-hmm.
and as you walk in the snow,
And you see it
you
moving.
actually leave a rut, through the snow that eventually closes back up because it's snow, right? But I think they're implementing shovel citizen gameplay.
Think about
I like
the
that.
leaves blowing around on Orison.
Yeah.
And then that's what that tech is. It's a continuation of that kind of a tech where it starts.
Isn't
what's that?
the footprint in the game now? In the
Footprints
snow?
have been there in the snow. For a
Yeah,
while.
that's what I thought. Okay.
Swirling snow is I don't know. We've got swirling snow already, don't we?
No.
No.
I don't know about swirling.
Okay, so that would be the tech that comes after the leaves falling down on Orison, and then now they can go to smaller particles like snowflakes. That's just my guess.
Okay. All right. So up next we have St. Patrick's Day 2022. We got this announcement yesterday. So most of the stuff all the stuff that went wave are already over like 16 hours ago. But did anybody get anything?
I bought some paint.
Bought some paint? Which one?
The green one.
I was just waiting.
I bought it for the 600i and the 400i.
Okay.
I'm on the fence with the paints. I already got the one for the MSR launch.
Yeah, same here.
The last
I was
one,
like,
so. But I was like, $16 for a paint for
Right?
the 600i? Seriously? And if I was like, if I'm going to get both the 400 and 600, I might as well just get a hover quad and get the LTI.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, that's incredibly expensive.
If you're going to get both the 400 and the 600, you might as well just pay 30 for all three.
I already have the one for the MSR because I have the MSR for Fortuna from last year.
Right. So that's a waste of money right there. I'm giving them $30.
And I look at it like this, right? I have no problem spending money on paints if I ever plan on buying another ship ever. Right? Because I have tons of paints that I've purchased and I have just like, I don't have that ship anymore, or I don't like that paint. I just melt it and it's becomes just $27 ultimately store credit that I have to apply to my next ship purchase. So either if they put in another paint that I like better, I melt it. I bought the big paint packs for the C2 Hercules at one time. But then they came out with the best in show paints, and I was like, man, I'm melting this paint pack, and that was a good $45 that I got back. So no skin off my back.
Silver Battery says, great camel though in those Space Forests.
I mean, I admit it's cool that they're putting more paints out for the 600 because she's been lacking, and now she's got two.
Now she's got two
paints.
Woo! So if you buy the paint for the 400, that's $11, and buy the paint for the 600, that's $16. So US dollars, that's $27. So if you pay another $3 or $3.40, you get all three. So isn't that a same?
Yeah, but I get a third paint that I don't need
because I already have it.
Right. All right.
That's guacamole on my next rice bowl at Chipotle.
That's like giving CIG a $4 tip. Here you go.
Hey, anything to support the project, right?
I ended up buying the, I bought the 400i paint. That's all this. I mean, I don't have any other ships. I kind of looked into the 600i, but I just don't. I know they're updating the interior of it. I just don't like the interior so much that I couldn't buy the ship. There's no way.
I thought about buying a second one, dude.
I was like, no. I mean, it's funny though, because I was looking at my paints and I'm like, well, maybe I should have just, maybe I should just melt. I ended up melting like a bunch of paints so I could get like the Nova Tank paint pack, which is 3 paints. And then I melted the one Vanguard paint that I had, and I went and rebought the pack that's a 2 paint pack. So, it had me looking at my paints anyways, just to see if I really wanted it, what the value of them was and all that stuff. And those were, I think, were mostly credits. So I don't think I paid any cash for any of the paints from yesterday that I ended up doing.
Get your 600s while you can, because that rework is coming. You better believe that price is going up.
Price is going up.
You better the rework is going to be the bomb.
I'm just waiting for the 500. That's all I'm saying.
You'll be waiting a while, man. Don't hold your breath.
You and the GameStop folks are waiting on that stock to go back up. All right.
Wow. But yeah, so they're selling the paint separately, and they're selling the strips with the paint together, and then they're selling these the Fortuna ship packs, and these went out in waves, but the robot one is still available, but you can't get the on-site credit one. And So they have these steps in the legend pack. Then you got the $1,300 Fortuna Ultimate Party Pack with all the ships, basically, from previous and current Stellar Fortuna event.
Well, I just want to touch base on what Gecko said there. He's like, paints are fun, but for now, but I have no faith in their value in the future. So, like, if you buy I had to pull it up so I could actually respond. If you get a Starfarer and you can get a black paint, it's $9. And you pay it with cash, it's $9 if you want the Storm Surge, it's 13. To buy a paint for a Starfarer, because the vehicle's so big, that paint costs you like 250,000 UEC in the game right now. So, and that's like not that's like not stock. So if the idea is if the ship gets destroyed and you make a claim, well, you're not going to have the paint on that again. You're going to get the stock ship, and if you want that black paint or the other paint, you have to come up with another 200 or 200,000 UEC to put the same paint back onto it. So to pay it for cash is the kind of how I say it, to get the workaround of that. So I like this paint. I'm gonna have it forever, and that's because when I claim the ship, it claims the paint at the same time, and I can just reapply it. So that's how I look at that.
Yeah, I think that's a great observation. As to the paints, I'm glad that they are now doing them as skins as well, because originally it was assigned to the ship, and that was the only way you could get it. So I do like the fact that if you own a Constellation, or rather if you own, a 400 or whatever, you don't necessarily have to buy the 400 in green, but you can get the skin for it, which is cool. Yeah, my only issue is the CIG. I appreciate the aspects of diversity, with Fortuna, and then we've had the Chinese New Year. But I'm telling you now, you better come up with a Wakanda Day, all right?
Yeah,
I've been saying that for
let it be
years.
Let it be black and gold. Let it be black and gold, and come up with Wakanda Day some type of way, all right? And don't forget the Italians and some other folks. But I'm just telling you, put us on the list and come up with a day, because that green. I'm not digging that green. It seemed like it used to be a brighter green before, like more of a lime green. I like that better. This seems to be a darker tone, and I don't know. It's not grabbing me.
And I mean, ever since they came out with that green constellation, I've been saying, give me a constellation black. I've been saying that ever since that first one. So yeah, I'm there with you.
Coincidentally, Griffin, the person who came up.
Hold on, Cal Wright's got something.
Oh, the person, the artist who came up with the Anvil Hawk, they actually did design a black and gold version.
Yes.
So
the MSR has a black and gold color one. It's a beautiful skin too.
Yeah. Anymore.
Yeah. If they're gonna do that, man, they're gonna do it like they're gonna make it red, black, and green. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, all right, folks, look.
Griffin, here's your paint, right? Well, I mean, originally you're right. The emerald, the Phoenix Emerald, seemed to be a lot brighter, more of a, like just a brighter, shinier green. And this is everything looks a little bit more subdued. Gecko was talking about paint materials and patterns, and I think that's the idea. Is like if you buy a paint with cash, I think the idea in the future is that you can't like figure a way to copy that in the paint system in the future, because you're supposed to be able to make like org color paints, and if you there's a question if you can put logos on, like if you have an org, and can you put your I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that, put your org name on like a logo on the side, but it's certainly paint colors. Like if you want gold in the front and black in the back, then you could probably do something like that. But they won't, from what I understand, they won't make it stuff that they sell. So, but it's like funny because the Starfarer has a straight black paint, so it's like you're telling me that there's not going to be just a straight black paint for the Starfarer in the future. So it's kind of weird to think that.
I think you'll get it back, right? You'll get it back. They're going to have to do a reset of some sort, right? If you paid real money for it, and now it's for them to try to programmatically limit the paints available in game once we have RGB sliders and stuff, in order to not overlap what's been available in the store. It's just going to be too much of a programming task. It won't be worth the money that they would have to just give back to people in the form of store credit that people will use to buy their stuff anyway.
Go map. It's been decided by the community. It won't be RGB. It'll be hex. Remember, hex code.
Hex code.
Yes,
Yeah.
hex code.
That's right, hex.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see your point. But yeah, the other thing about Delta Fortuna is that they're really hyping the Origin for some reason. I wonder why. How much did you pay them to hype up Origin, Griffin?
Origin doesn't need hype, my friend. They just saw the direction.
Green's the color of money.
The common people, the common people are finally waking up to the glory of Origin. That's all I can attribute it to.
And then they had the
wait. Let's double back a little bit here. Did you talk about the 890 sale?
I'm getting to that right now.
Okay, I'll leave it alone. Okay, go ahead.
You jumping the gun. But they had the 3 ways for the 890 jump. I wasn't around to keep track of how fast they sold. When I got the notification, it was 10 minutes past noon yesterday, and they were already sold out. So, Griffin, how fast did these sell out?
The credit sold out within 1 minute. The cash sold out within 10 minutes. And we don't know how many they had. I don't know how many were up for sale this time, but it is definitely
Normally
surprising.
100, right?
I have no idea. No idea. But it's just surprising that the interest is there. And I'm being serious at this point because it is a pricey ship and there is a lot not known about what's going to happen with the 890. Usually we'll see that sale happen at the annual, and it's kind of expected because it's like you have to wait once a year for it to come around. But this was a surprise to me that the ship sold that quickly. I don't know if they did that on all 3 waves, but I do know on the first wave they were gone.
First couple of waves, yeah. The other thing, the one thing that gets me is that these only have 6 months insurance, both of them.
Yeah, that's another thing, that people were willing to buy it with 6 months instead of waiting. That's another thing.
Yeah, that was one. I was thinking about getting the other 600i because I have the exploration. And I was like, maybe I can grab the touring and I can have both, for when the passenger missions come. But then I saw that all those stuff had 6 months insurance. I was like, thank you, CIG, for making the decision for me.
You can upgrade it.
I was going to say, you can upgrade to the 600 or the touring exploration of 600, but I don't believe that there's a CCU available for the 890. Am I mistaken?
Not that I know of. If it is, it was a long time ago because I haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah,
if there
it's like the
was.
Constellation Phoenix. You cannot upgrade to the Constellation Phoenix, and you cannot upgrade to 890. So I guess that's why the 6 months insurance one sold.
Yeah,
but
right
it is
now
surprising that they sold so fast. Go ahead.
Right now, the 400i and the 600i Touring and the 600i Explorer are all available for upgrades. So if you've got an LTI, like a hover quad, and you want to get that LTI on that ship, then go at it.
Yeah.
What was that? Huh? Say something.
The moment passed. The moment passed. I was going to buy a green one. I was going to buy a green one. I was like, I'll have a green one and a blue one. That'd be great. But then I was like, nah, it's okay.
I don't like the blue. It's hard on the eyes.
I love the blue.
We've had one of our good friends join us. Mr. Kai Zen is in the house.
Hello.
Hey guys. I'm just talking about you earlier.
Uh-oh.
All of it was bad.
In a good way. How are you doing?
Lies.
I'm all right. If it was in a good way, then it was lies. If it was bad, then it's all true. Happy Stella Fortuna, guys.
Hey,
Stella
Fortuna.
Hell yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day or all that good stuff.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, and welcome to all the console players from Elite.
Oh, don't start.
Don't start. I'm sure we'll be talking about that one tomorrow.
Don't start.
Oh, whoops. My bad.
Wow, shots are firing.
Yeah. So, Kaizen, did you get anything from the sale?
No, I honestly, I'm at a point with Star Citizen right now where I feel like I have done my duty. I have given them a decent chunk of change for whatever, and now I'm just enjoying the ride and being very, very chill with it. And I'm enjoying like the process. Not and don't anyone read into me saying that as like, oh, I'm bitter. Oh, I want my money back. No, I don't want a penny of my money back. I'm very happy with every penny that I've spent, and it's enough. Yeah. So I'm just enjoying the great ISC from today, and I'm sure we'll get to talking about that and all of the stuff.
I agree.
Yep. I'm just super happy with how everything's going.
All right, that would be a great segue, but I'm going to go into the merchandise first before I get into that. So, Griffin, how many of these did you buy?
How many of what did I buy?
These merchandise.
What merchandise? That stuff there?
Gear. You don't
I already own Origin stuff. I'm not waiting for Stella Fortuna to buy Origin stuff. What are you talking about?
Griff was on top of that when they first got introduced.
What I don't own is that fleece pullover. I don't like the fit on it, and I don't like the gray. It doesn't make a difference. I don't like the gray. No, I don't like the gray, and I don't like the fit on it. If it was black or something, I'd probably like it a little bit more. That gray with the blue, I'm just not digging it. Yeah, but everything else that's Origin, I've got.
You see the pullover there, the back of the guy there, the pullover. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was able to take that off himself.
Yeah.
You see his heart beating in the picture.
Yeah, it looked a little snug. But that mouse pad is amazing. I do have that.
I thought about that mouse pad.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't have the 400i on it. It's old.
Yeah.
They didn't update it.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah,
that's true.
I didn't notice until now that the mouse pad is sold out. So they're evidently selling.
Yeah, sure. People bought it, but I wasn't one of them. I thought about it because I have a space on my desk that I'm thinking about getting a large, pad surface, either like a computer pad or a big mouse pad, whatever. I was like, that'd be pretty cool. But I said, nah.
All right, so I think that's it. That's enough for St. Patrick, the Stella Fortuna Day from the CIG. Up next, we have Inside Star Citizen. So this is 10 minutes. We'll be splitting it up into 5-minute chunks. Grab a drink, grab a snack, and enjoy the show.
I think we all can agree that looting was definitely a great addition to Star Citizen. I love that players are exploring and looking for interesting stuff around the universe. For 3.17, loot is going to be much more exciting and valuable for all the players. Up until right now, players got the same loot in different locations, so you could go to Korea or a cave or an outpost and potentially have the same content. For 3.17 though, we are changing that, and now we are tailoring the content for each location. The other addition, because up until right now, all the content was considered common content that you could even buy in shops, we are now adding the concept of rarity. We have 3 different types of rarity, so it's the common one, the uncommon one, and rare one. The uncommon one is going to be items that are not available in the shops anymore. For example, security armor or pirate armor, it's content that it's specific for a group of people. In order to make rarity a viable option, it was always intended to remove some of the items from the shops. And the rare items definitely are the ones that are going to be more exciting for everyone, for sure. Don't expect to have a high percentage of spawning. We are very keen into spawn only a little bit of them, but rare items, we are applying more or less the same philosophy with ships. So eventually rare items will end up in the loot pool and can be found in different lootable crates.
Obviously, with looting becoming such a big feature in the game, we kind of need an ability for you to sell the loot that you've been acquiring this whole time. To do that, we're going to be updating the shop system and item shops with a brand new kiosk that will have a much improved user experience that will allow you to sell your various items. So for 3.17, the system determining what can be sold where and for how much is going to be very simple. Basically, if a shop sells an item of a certain type, they sell guns, they sell ship parts, you can then sell to that shop items of that type. The pricing will be as follows. It will start at 90% of the price that the shop sells it for, And depending on their current inventory, it will fall down to 50%, with 50% being that they are absolutely full on that item. If they do not have that exact item in their inventory, you will default down to 50% because, frankly, they don't really want to stock that thing anyways. Rarity, of course, will come into play for this, but basically the base prices of items will help to determine how much they sell for. There has been a small pass to just kind of update some of these prices to fall within line of the fact that certain items now can't be found in stores, and certain items are going to be very difficult to find in the boxes throughout the world. And of course, the Pico Balls will be the most valuable item in all of the persistent universe. One of the features that we're really happy that we included in this is when you are selling something with attachments, you can, on the spot, go through and detach those attachments in the selling interface so that they don't get sold. Let's say that you're trying to sell a sniper rifle and you have a really nice scope on it. You will see that when you go to make that transaction and be able to say, oh, actually, I want to keep that. One problem that we are aware of in all interfaces that deal with items of this type is stacking. The stacking system in personal inventory and in now this shop screen, which uses the same stacking method, means that it can be a little annoying to move large quantities of the same item. We don't have an immediate perfect solution for that where we can stack items that are identical, but in the short term we did a little solution where there's just a quick sell button on each item in the list. Fair warning to all of you, there is no buyback button at this time, so if you sell something, it is gone. Be careful. And of course, with inventory, where we want it to go in the future, we want it to be that as you are selling these items, it is affecting the inventory of the store so that it is becoming more and more that other players can then purchase. We're not clear as the time of this recording if that's going to make it for 3.17, but that is definitely a goal going forward. We're going to be monitoring both how you guys are using this new kiosk and how many things you're selling in order to help balance both the amount of loot and how much each piece of loot sells for. We also are very interested in any feedback that comes in for the user experience of that selling, so please let us know how things are going. We are listening, and this is going to be something that we're going to be very interested in making a better and better experience as time goes on.
The advancements in loot generation and implementation of selling are two key aspects of any MMO, and their arrival in Star Citizen heralds a continuing push to reward players for venturing out into that dangerous unknown to seek their fortunes. And because the unknown can be so hazardous, let's take a look now at the current state of medical gameplay.
Alright, so we're stopping there and going to rewind. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So, Kusanagi, what do you think? Looting.
I think it looks pretty cool. It's been a long time for everybody. I mean, it's been like almost 6 years, since I started playing the game. So it's been a little bit of tick of my clock. Although I gotta say, I'm mad when I can't find a matching set of armor right now. So I imagine it's going to get a little bit more difficult. And if they have more armor to sell me for some type of sale, I will probably buy more of it. Because although I'm not like a heavy armor person anyways. I usually buy like medium armor. So maybe it won't be that hard, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'll probably be more open to purchasing some more armor when they release it in the store.
Kusanagi, you strike me as I'm surprised. You strike me as someone who's always been into heavy metal.
I'm not a heavy metal person. No.
By the way, I think that Ben Dorsey is in the running for best hair at CIG with Brian Chambers and Eric Kyron Davis. Anyone?
Wait, the rich guy? Or which one's that?
The second guy.
The young
Ben
kid.
Dorsey.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty impressed by the gray-haired guy here. Because he's got some really salt and pepper going on. I'm like, wow.
Like, legit, that dude is, what is it? We are House Atreides. There is no call we do not answer. There is no betray. That's a handsome man right there.
Oh, man, I noticed that instantly.
Doesn't he look exactly like that Isaac's guy?
Yep.
Oh, by the way, if anyone wants to join our conversation, please click on our Discord link. So thank you. Appreciate it. Dark Knight, what are your thoughts?
Oh, this is so cool. I'm excited for a lot of people who are into the loot. Go mob. You're gonna be making some. I know you're looking at this, licking your lips, going, "Oh, it's gonna be good." But no, this is pretty cool. Making those rarity items, that's awesome. I mean, you can't go in and buy the Art Corp, security suit in Cubby Bear anymore. You can't get those kind of pieces. Now you got to actually go out and find them if you really want them, or take down a guard or something like that. And having those items that are no longer weapons, things no longer sold in stores, you got to find those rare items. That brings up the excitement level for a lot of people, and I think it's great. And for me, selling back components, that is going to be so cool, because then you're going to upgrade a drive and you don't have to worry about the price. What are you going to do with the old one and all of this and that? And actually allows you to upgrade your ship for a better price and to be able to trade in items and things like that. So I think that's really, really cool. But I think that, and I think that they're talking about like degradations and things like that. They said that, and they're not really sure if that's going to be going in, but at least, this is the last part. Quantum. People were asking, what about Quantum? This is it. This is what Quantum's going to be. This is the beginning of Quantum, at least part of it. And when they were getting into the refueling, the same thing. This is all supply and demand, and this is it. It's beginning right now, and it's really kind of cool to see that that level of gameplay going in. So good luck, everybody, finding your rare armors.
Yeah. Fifth Space, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I always enjoy loot. It's always good to see what they're doing. Now that you can sell it. Now here's the thing, though. I was thinking about it as I was watching this, and we were talking about it earlier about Pyro. Now here's a gameplay that got me thinking as I'm watching this, because in Pyro, it's lawless. Now I don't know if there will be terminals there too, where you can be able to sell things there, but piggybacking off of what happened to Griff in Mortal Online, too, you could be going there about to go sell something at a terminal and get jumped and get ambushed.
When did Dark Knight get an emoji?
Dark Knight has always had one.
I forgot about that. Cool. Fifth Space, were you done?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that gameplay, because I know it's not in yet for the armistice, where they're supposed to take away the armistice zones for all of the places and stuff like that. But Pyro is supposed to be right.
Yeah, they should. You can't use medical gameplay right now.
Oh, by the way, you said that you always like loot. You struck me more of a booty type of guy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Same thing.
Go, Matt.
Agreed.
Well, first of all, kudos to them for putting on a show around gameplay, right, and not focusing on just ships, right. I know a lot of people, certain streamers, have been like, oh, another sprint report and ISE all about new ships that they want you to buy. So take that. First of all. Second of all, I think selling is going to be really cool as far as keeping your inventory clean. And of course there's going to be some mad lad out there that's just going to go ham and try to make millions of dollars selling stuff.
You mean
no?
Cough.
No, I'm not. There's going to be more effective and efficient ways of making money than doing that. I go farm armor for me to be able to have disposable armor to wear that I didn't have to buy. I don't farm it to say, oh, I can make $1 million. No, you're not going to do that. You heard them say this. The higher price stuff is going to go for the stuff that they actually sell in the store that you're selling it to. So it's only going to be, you're only going to get 50% of that back. And none of this stuff in this game is expensive. So you're talking, what, 1,000 AUEC per item at this point? So yeah, you'll be selling armor pieces at 100 of them at a time in order to make 100,000. How long is that going to take?
Well, let me jump in on that.
Okay.
Don't forget that all the numbers that we have right now are Monopoly money. Everything is based upon us being able to do things. It's not based on any economy. And the rifle that you're paying $3,000 for now might be $30,000 later. So don't use the numbers now. But to your point, you're right. If you do it right now, it's not going to mean anything much in the sense of becoming wealthy from it. But I guarantee you these numbers are going to change. There are already rumors about the numbers changing already with fueling. So I can tell you that these numbers are not going to stay the same. DK.
Yeah.
Odyssey. How much was a spacesuit in Odyssey?
$100,000, maybe more. You could buy 3 ships for the price of a suit.
The engineered ones go up for millions.
Yeah, there you go.
So don't
You can
think
buy
that
a
these
ship
numbers
for armor.
don't think that these numbers are going to stay the same. So I'm just telling you, the time is coming where that type of trade for rifles and guns will have greater value than what it is right now. Right now, it's phony money so that we can do stuff, but it is
And
coming.
Griffin, I'm going to give another guarantee. I guarantee you people will be eBaying an Alpha UEC on.
They're already doing it.
They already are.
They're already doing it. They've been doing it.
And remind you, Alpha UEC.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Not UEC. Alpha UEC. Think about that.
Right.
And that's phony money.
That's
Monopoly money, like you said.
Got to get white next patch.
Kaizen, you're up next. What are your thoughts?
So half of me wants to absolutely just co-sign on what GoMab said, and then I have a point to pick of difference of opinion on the second half of it. So right off the bat, yeah, there are some streamers out there that have been saying, oh, nice clouds, but where's my gameplay? Nice ripple, but where's my gameplay? Well, guess what, Chuckles? This is your gameplay. This was not even something on the roadmap that was planned out. This was so for everybody out there who's saying 2022 is not the year for Star Citizen, because all the real gameplay is coming later. Let me explain something to you. With a change that was unannounced, that wasn't prepared for, that wasn't trumpeted, that no one thought was coming until it leaked like a sieve from the Evocati notes 3 days ago, and then just got announced today on the ISC. They literally said, oh yeah, we're pulling some of the rare gear off of the shops, and now it's going to be sellable. You got to find it and you got to get it out there. That does 2 things. Number 1, yes, you can sell stuff to the stores, and that adds a whole gameplay loop. But, and here's where I'm going to differ for GoMab, where he says, yeah, so what? You get that rifle. They don't stock that. They don't want that. Here's what I want to see come in, and here's what I think is a whole rich gameplay loop that everybody has more or less overlooked. What if we get to a point where now we have a website, or on Spectrum or wherever, there's somebody opens up, what is it? What was that? Craigslist.Stanton. And now I'm like, yo, I want this particular helmet, and I don't want to go digging around looking for it. I'm a miner. I just want to go mine my Quantanium, but I want this helmet and this gun. And GoMab goes, yo, I got you, son, but it's going to be 500,000, or it's going to be whatever. And it's like, well, shit, I got money. I don't have time. Yeah, I'll take it. Down the line, we could see player to player trading. I give you the money, you give me the stuff. Same time, I don't know you. But that's an actual whole rich dynamic gaming experience that wasn't even, there was no point to it before, because it was just, you go to the store, you click, everybody buys it. But now the idea of being able to auction stuff to each other. Maybe I'm a player who, I'm a sniper. I like out in the field, long range shots, and I get some kind of loot because of that. And DK is a tunnel rat. He likes to go into those underground, real close quarter combat, whatever, and he's getting special kinds of loots that I don't. And we're now buying and selling and trading with each other, and it just opens up all kinds of dynamic loops. So don't count 2022 out, because I think that anybody who does that does so foolishly.
Good point. Thank you. Karate, what are your thoughts?
I'm really excited to see it come online, the whole selling aspect. But another thing that we definitely noticed compared to the loot that we have in 3.6 up to 3.16.1 now is how much loot. I mean, it could be a dev version, but the kind of stuff that we're seeing in this video here, if this is the case and we're getting that much, it definitely could mean that. I mean, for example, it's been a while since I've actually even gone back to the store to purchase armor or weapons. I usually just get it from the missions, like how GoMap does it. I get the armor from there. And if the kind of stuff that we're getting really is what we're seeing in the video, I would say that that's really good. It definitely can justify them taking the items away from the shops and making us be more exploration loving, and to go out and find these items in these loot boxes. And once again, it kind of ties back to Pyro or locations where there aren't as many stores. It makes things more sustainable when it comes to exploration. And also, outside of it just means that the stuff that we do loot, if we don't need them, we could always just sell it back to the store if we don't need it from time to time, and similar to how you would normally do in some other MMORPGs. So it's a nice familiar aspect to it. So I totally welcome it.
All right, thank you. Pops, what are your thoughts?
Oh, well, when I first saw it, I thought of my friend, Go Mad, the Body Snatcher. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Down and doing this thing, seeing more bodies floating in space. But me and Kai, same exact thing, because I was, the trading auction house for the rare items. If I don't think they would have us have a storefront itself, but something like Kaizen said, like the auction house and these rare items. And it would tie so much into the Banu Merchantman, having rare items on your ship, these things, and you would go around selling player to player.
I was just about to say that, Pops.
Hey, we all think alike, we all on the same channel.
We think alike, but we don't all look alike. So that's
yes, we do.
Thank God.
You kidding? I always look like GoMap. You're so handsome. Anyway, so the thing that caught my eye, interest was you saying no buyback. So even if you can't even you can't even get a buyback token and get your stuff back. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna be somewhere down the line. But yeah, did anyone see a Reddit thread or Spectrum thread going up say I accidentally sold all my stuff and I can't get buy it back? Did anybody foresee that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Certainly.
Yeah. They said it's
trade
gonna
market system, yeah. You can, you lose something, you're like, somebody's got it and they'll sell it to you. But it's gonna be for a price. And somebody else might want it. And if they do, you got an auction going on. Like you said, Pops. Well, yeah, like you said, Pops. On fastcart on your merchantman, you can have an auctioneer selling off rare stuff that you find.
Yeah.
Now the only thing that I kind of miss, I know it wasn't, was the milk crate. I kind of dug that milk crate. Walking in with the milk crate full of stuff, putting it on the counter. But
Oh, that was something else they mentioned. The box that you'd be able to keep and you can carry around and put it, carry with you. Basically like a one standard unit box, that little tiny box. And you can fill it with stuff and carry it and put it onto your ship and maybe fill it up with like waters and stuff and carry it on your ship and your friends can get into it. I think that would that part of the inventory that we don't have now. Like if you get on somebody's ship, you open the inventory, that's your inventory on their ship. But then this gives you a chance to go into a box that somebody puts down, like a loot box.
Right. And that's what I was talking about, like with the ambush gameplay. Because if you're carrying a box to that kiosk, you're a prime target.
Or wait till we get around to Fast Cart Logistics Incorporated, where he shows up with the ship and it's like, oh, we got the miner's box, we got the combat box, we got the what you need. We got everything in a box.
Right?
That'll be 80,000, and then you just get your box and just roll on out.
Imagine
guys are
trying to
thinking
go
too
sell
small.
those rare items at Grimhex.
Mhm.
You guys are thinking too small. You think about, okay, so we're gonna get hacking in the game, right? So you take one of those little data hacking devices and you plug it into the computer, and maybe it gives you like 5 minutes of hacking capability. So you're around the corner while someone like drops off all the gear, and you just made a $250,000 UEC.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like
And
hacking an ATM.
Yeah, hacking ATM, you never know.
Yeah. Now I know we're going to have wear and tear, and another thing I did think about was when you go to buy a new gun that's on your ship for say, right? Will they give you a trade-in value for the older one that's on your ship?
Not
That you-
now, but I mean, not in 317.
Yeah, not
maybe in
now,
the
but
future.
yeah, maybe hopefully
maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Well, wait, why not now? They've said that we're going to have selling in there, so don't go in there and buy the new gun right off the bat. Go in there, sell the old gun first, then buy the new gun.
Yep.
I get you. Okay. So take it off, sell it, take it off your ship, sell it, and then
And make sure you take off any mods if you're getting a rifle or whatnot. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And that interface they showed was very slick. I
Oh,
liked it.
yeah, that's right.
Nice.
That new
Oh,
interface looks
certainly, yeah.
real nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well
Let's see if I
done.
can find it.
Good point. Good
They're
point.
showing it now.
Oh, they're starting now. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So I'm gonna fast forward to 531. That's where the next stuff is. But I want to say thank you all for the pleasant conversation. Oh, and Kaizen, it's been ages since I heard someone call someone else Chuckle. So thank you for that. I haven't heard that in a while.
Well, I had to edit myself because I was thinking of one particular streamer, and I was going to say Chuckle and then another word put together, and then I thought, you know what, maybe just stop.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cover the rest of our ISD. So here we go.
That dangerous unknown to seek their fortunes. And because the unknown can be so hazardous, let's take a look now at the current state of medical gameplay, what's being adjusted for Alpha 317, and what's on the horizon after that.
So the response to healing was quite heartening.
There was some really good community engagement around the feature. I remember at one stage on Reddit, I think it was even before the feature was released, someone had posted a survival guide, and it was just really cool to see how excited people were about the feature.
It's a really expansive system, so there's lots of different parts, and it was a lot to sort of get everything working.
It was great to see that people were happy and excited about various aspects of the healing.
The medical bed UI in particular, which is the main thing I worked on, has a lot of depth to it in terms of adding to the feeling that it's a real hospital and a real place, and you can do sort of, you're really healing yourself.
I really enjoy the fact that there is some consequence to death now, that there's a sense of continuity. I don't just die and magically respawn somewhere. My corpse is something I now have to go and find if I've put something important on it. What we worked on is a T0 implementation, so it's bare bones. There's so much more to do. There are a few things we've fixed since then that should be coming out in 317. I've had feedback saying that bleed is too harsh, and absolutely, we've addressed that. It was unfortunately an oversight on our part, and we've reduced the severity of bleeding, so you won't start bleeding then, keel over 2 seconds later. Instant death, we never want to have someone fall over and die immediately from a single pistol shot to the head, or the foot. We've covered a couple of issues that were causing that, so 317 we should see that removed entirely. We've also had feedback regarding sort of hunger thirst, and also the status system in general, just not persisting between play sessions.
So yeah, now between logins, most of your stats will persist, your health, your injuries, your hunger and thirst, so we'll see that gameplay back in the PU properly.
We've also had some feedback regarding the crime stats. This was one that I hadn't encountered, but sort of face palmed when I saw it. If you ram your own corpse with a ship, you get a crime rating for it, and that's not obviously great. It's sort of an extra kick to your dignity. But thankfully, the Mission Future team guys have drilled into that and fixed it. So 317, that humiliation should be removed, thankfully.
For the injuries not being seen enough, we've also added a bit of probability into it.
If you jump off a tree, there's every chance you're going to snap every bone in your body, or you're going to land like a cat. So we've introduced a little bit of a random element that doesn't scale linearly to try and achieve that. And it's really worked out, I think, quite well. We're seeing injuries more often, and it's not always at a gamified value that you reach. Beyond 317, there are other things we want to get into. We want to make improvements. Body dragging, for example, we know that's not exactly great right now. If you want to drag someone into an elevator, it can be a bit hit or miss. We're definitely looking to improve that. Some people just don't care about injuries because they just mash the die button and then respawn in their ship, and then haha, they move on. That won't be possible moving forward once we get some really big changes in. And again, this is quite a ways away. But things like permadeath, DNA degradation, being charged to respawn, the idea of your character dying forever and just having to spawn next to kin, those are all things we're fairly confident that are going to be coming in at some point in the distant future. The manner in which they come in, we've got an idea of how they're going to be developed and also how they're going to function. We have had lots of other feedback that I haven't covered so far, and the reason I've not addressed is because we don't yet have a solid idea of how we're going to address that, and we don't want to make any promises that we're not going to fulfill.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that loot is expanding into both rarity and variation, beginning with Alpha 317 and beyond. That when combined with selling, a loop emerges to make your living as a potential treasure hunter. And that medical gameplay continues to evolve with your feedback and testing, and there's plenty more yet still to come. Now remember that Stella Fortuna is upon us, and there are some really nice vehicle paints that you can learn more about on the robertspaceindustriescom website. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
And we're back. So I'm going to start from the middle. Go, Mab. Hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What are your thoughts?
They're adding new stuff into the gameplay of the medical gameplay, which I'm here for that. I'm glad that you get they're going to make it so that you don't bleed out immediately once you get grazed. Tis but a scratch. It's like having a med gun on you is sometimes worthless because you can never get to it fast enough to actually heal yourself or your friend if they get shot. So I'm glad they're working on that, but at the same time making it more likely that you'll get injured. So I'm curious to see how they kind of tweak that over time, because right now we're still experiencing trip and fall on your butt because of random stuff. So it'd be crazy if you start falling and then taking I got a broken leg injury walking through Everest or something crazy. So yeah, I'm curious to see as where it all comes.
All right. Face to face, what are your thoughts?
I have to say the same with a Go Map. I mean, the medical gameplay is cool. Glad that, doing some tweaks, some modifications and everything. It looks cool. Keep it short and sweet.
All right. Dark Knight.
Gameplay. I mean, that's basically it. It's just more gameplay, especially for people in the medical profession. It also makes you think more about your survivability and being, you got to wake up, and if you didn't eat when you logged out, you're going to wake up hungry. So, you got to start thinking about that. People are going to be so mad. It's just going to keep getting harder and harder. Just like he says here, it's like, we are going to continue to go this route. And just hitting the backspace is not going to be worth it anymore. It's just going to be more of a hassle. You keep
RIP
dying, you keep
backspace.
spawning. Yep. Every time you hit the backspace, your dollars go up for the amount of times that you get cloned, and eventually you're going to have to restart your next to kin. Sorry, not sorry. That's just the way it's going to be. And start getting used to it now. This is just another step in that direction. And they keep refining it and refining it. At least like Gomab said, you're not bleeding out instantly. And that should be expected. You shouldn't bleed out immediately. And I think Gomab to address that, as you were falling down, and I think he kind of said something about that a little bit, that they're just working on ways to kind of balance that out. So, but again, it's in development. There are bugs. We're going to fall down and die. And hopefully, that doesn't, isn't as much of a nuisance as it is now. So we'll see.
I just hope before they put this in, they remove some of the weird random deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Absolutely.
And I have a feeling that there'll be some of them will still be in the game.
And like you said, give us feedback. That's what they want. So kudos to them. It's going to be a little bit harder to work with now. We all know that. Be prepared. Scouts motto: be prepared.
Admiral Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
So I want to ask DK, since we were talking about that. How long do you think it should take to get respawn in a character? Should there be should they slow that down? Should they make it more difficult?
I don't know. I mean, right now, I would say that if you set your spawn point in the Carrick's ICU and you fall down, you've got that hour and a half. Sometimes you see on there, it's going to take you an hour and a half to die. You won't respawn back in the Carrick for an hour and a half. Or somebody comes down and rescues you. Right now, you can just hit backspace and you'll respawn back in the Carrick. Like he was saying, you can just respawn back in your ship.
But when you do that, how long should it take you to be back in the battlefield to pick up your gear?
For clone?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. 20 minutes.
Well, they should make it based on distance. I think they should make it based on distance and not based on based on distance and based on bed type, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if your spawn point is way across the system, then your clone data takes a certain amount of time. It travels at a certain speed, so that's some time you got to take into consideration. If you're spawning at a level 2 bed, then it spawns you at this speed versus at a hospital that spawns you even faster. And maybe you should have a progress bar that shows you that. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be cool. Time to get some ice cream. I'll be back.
Right.
At the same time, though, because at the same time, I feel like we may not necessarily need to add a non-value added time. We can keep the value added time, but also, penalize us in another way. For example, we know the viability score is something that would measure the quality of our imprints, right? So as a result, let's say because of the distance, and while it may take the same amount of time, the kind of score or the reduction of the score that may occur because of the distance may be much greater because of whatever work that the Abraham sphere has to do to actually replicate our imprint or our clone. So that's just something that I'm thinking we can, kind of not necessarily penalize the player by making them wait longer, by adding non-value added time, but we can keep or maintain the value added time while impacting us in a different way that we actually have to say, okay, my Abraham's my viability score was impacted by a much higher percentage. So that means I'm 20% closer to needing to start over my entire character.
Or have it be something you choose. Hey, do you want a quick respawn? Then that'll bring down your viability.
Yeah.
Or you can have it travel slower and it'll retain more of its viability.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
I just want to bring up something that. Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay. I asked a question, so I just wanted to say that, Cade, brought up something about the pens. He's only used the medical pens, like the red ones, and no one really uses the other pens because they have the medical gun that Gomab was talking about. And I really have to question like why that thing is in game if there's no need for the whole other series that they made.
Why? You talking about why? What's in the game? The med gun or the pins?
Well, they have the pins, but I believe the med gun kind of got rid of it, and there's no reason in the future to have like
Costs.
gauze and stuff like that. Like I feel like people should be walking around with a big thing of like gauze on their back if they got shot in the back 5 minutes ago. Like they get fixed up and they're able to fight. But
Well, I think that first of all, CIG has made it clear that we've only seen like tier 0, tier 1 of medical. We haven't gotten anywhere near it. If you remember several months back, they showed us an actual medical kit that had everything you just mentioned, such as sprays, pads, and a whole bunch of other tools in it. So I wouldn't write it off that where we are right now is where it's stopping. I think that medical is going to expand just like we've seen mining and a lot of other things continue to expand over time. I think with the Apollo coming out with a thing called a medical career that even dictates that there's got to be something for medical people to do other than point a gun at somebody and shoot them. So I think that what you're asking for is coming.
so do you think they'll
just not
pull
there
that
yet.
out?
Pull what out?
The gun.
They don't have to.
No, they
What
don't
if-
have
what
to.
if-
Yeah.
What if you had a future where me, as a untrained, unskilled medical person, can use the pins because anyone can do that, but in order to use the gun, you need to have a medical rating of above 9.5, and like it takes time to like earn that to be able to use that equipment or
I'll
whatever.
run the skill of it. Okay.
There's also a compromise with that gun. I don't know if you've noticed, it takes a certain slot on you that you can't carry something else on.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I always take the pins with me because I look at the pins as a personal item for me to use very quickly. But you have to remember, I'll give you an example of what I mean. On the medical gun, when you go to the advanced setting on it, remember it shows you the 8 or 6 different medications that you can use. We're not even using those yet. You're going to have to actually put the right amount of something into someone or the right medication for whatever their ailment is. It won't be just this general point and shoot that we do right now. And that's the same thing with those individual pins as well. So again, I think they're going to expand on it. They've kind of given us enough to know that that is going to expand. When you're wearing that gun, it takes the spot for the knife and something else. I can't remember what the other item is, but there's something else that goes in that slot. It's the multi-tool, right?
Multi-tool.
So now you've got to compromise on which one do you want to take with you when you're doing a certain gig. That gun means nothing if you need to use the multi-tool, which means now you've got to use the multi-tool medical piece and keep that with you if you want to be able to have some type of medical treatment. So and that's to help somebody else. I mean, you can use it on yourself. We've done that. Obviously, you can point it to yourself, but a med pen is just as fast and disposable and getting rid of it for me, and it's cheaper. They cost $100. They're not that cheaper, but you get my point. I just think that the medical's going to expand.
And they're not going to heal anything above a minor injury, right?
Yeah,
If you get a head
temporarily,
injury,
and temporarily.
and just temporary. Yeah, and it's supposed to be a temporary. It's supposed to stabilize you long enough to get you to a medical ship. Then to the ship, like a Cuddy Red, is supposed to stabilize you even more until you can get you to a hospital or a clinic. Right? That's how it's supposed to work when it's all in.
the
Right
idea
now,
here
it's
is-
just
So
easy.
you use the gun of the pins, and then you can bring you to a cutlass. Say if you're really bad, and then you'll be able to limp to like a cutlass red, and then stabilize you and to bring you to another medical facility.
Limp or get drugged to one.
Right. Exactly.
But whatever it is, it's an ambulance. It's like an EMS. It's there to stabilize you, to get you somewhere. You might be able to hang in an extra 15 minutes. They talked about that with broken limbs and everything else, but you're not going to be 100%. You're going to suffer in some form. You may not be able to shoot as accurately, or your stamina may drop, but there's going to be some type of medical, something that's going to inhibit you until you actually go to a facility and get everything taken care of.
There are also a lot of creative stats differences that they can put in to make the difference between the med gun and because the med pens are concentrated, as opposed to the med gun. While it can be used to suit most of those injury conditions or to mask them, there can be consequences because of how diluted it is compared.
We still got three more people to get to, but I just want to say,
whoops, yeah.
I just want to say, somebody call me an ambalam. Pops, what are your thoughts?
I'm glad to see that they're working on it. then instead of it being just a headshot, instant death, because as us in Endeavor owners, we actually want to look forward to having something to do other than being a spawn point where we actually get to operate, care, consult, because I believe we said before that we're supposed to have specialists in the game, like cardiologists, brain surgeons, working in that field. You may have to call a doctor. He may be on microtech, and you have to stabilize them. And I'm just glad to see that they're working in that direction, going in depth in the medical field.
All right. I'm going to skip karate because you already said a lot. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, karate.
Actually, I pretty much said everything. So coincidentally, everyone that asked the questions, I pretty much said what I wanted to say too. But yeah, it's really nice to see the medical improvements. I really look forward to seeing more of what they have to put out. Especially since we're in an MMO, there has to be more variety so that we have greater chances of surviving. It's just because it's a first person, it's still an MMO, and because of that, you don't see many persons dying so quickly in an MMORPG because of how far we are from, say, a hospital facility or so. So while there are consequences and while dangers, we have to really decide on how best we go into a certain situation. I definitely am glad to see that they're making improvements to how quickly or slowly we die based on the experiences that we have.
I want a medical grenade.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Sure.
different.
I want to
Yep.
see that.
Oh God.
This
Kai,
go get
what are your
the,
thoughts?
Super unpopular opinion, I'm sure, but I have it. With regard to changing the way food and water work, thirst and hunger, I feel like they want to find the sweet spot. Obviously, if you need to eat food and drink water every 90 seconds, that's just annoying, and it's just you're screwing with my gameplay. But as it stands now, where you don't need to drink for several hours and you don't need to eat for maybe, unless you're going to do like a 6-hour game session, it's a little on the too light side. I think by tweaking it to make it like have a little more hunger and a little more thirst, to get it more along the lines of, what was that Fallout whatever, where it's like where you just need a little bit more food and water, and by also, most importantly, having it be persistent. You're just giving the whole universe a whole more persistent feel. You need to kind of keep that in mind. And we were just talking about, fastcart logistics incorporated, dropping off your combat box. And in that combat box, you better have a couple of granola bars and some bottles of water, because let me tell you something. As somebody who's deployed multiple times, you do not overlook that food and water, for sure. Especially the water. You can go without food for a little bit, but that water will trip you up quick in the desert. So I think that all of these things, physicalized inventory and, having to keep track of your stuff and having to keep track of your state of hunger and thirst and all these things is just, I think I'm going to go out and say it. 2022 is the year for Star Citizen.
Hot take. And remember, there are going to be other factors that's going to play into your thirst and hunger. Like if you're wearing your spacesuit all the time and not in clothes, that's supposed to impact that, right? If you're running around like a madman as opposed to walking like a calm, sane human, that's going to cause you to get hungry faster and thirsty faster. So as all that stuff comes in, it'll get more and more realistic.
And your suit. I mean, if you're at a place where your suit is just barely rated enough, and like your body temperature is high, it's not high enough that it's going to kill you, but it's high, as opposed to you're in the deluxe origin suit that has the built-in air conditioning fans and whatnot. You're gonna need a little more water. This is all just making the game more dynamic.
Yeah,
indeed.
I think that goes into what possibly they could get into, like we're talking about repairing ourselves. But if I shoot you with a bullet and it penetrates your suit, you might have to have another gun or gel to repair your suit so you don't vent your atmosphere into space or
patches
something
up
like
on the
that.
suits or something. Yeah,
Excellent.
I
You
mean,
get O2 dropping.
Do you guys remember that ATV where they showed something like that?
Yep.
They shot the
no.
person's
Yep.
Finger and it was venting out.
isn't there a room in the Carrack that is to fix gear?
Yeah, repair the repair room.
Mm-hmm.
And that ties into, I mean, they weren't talking about the suit, they were talking about in a room, but that ties into, remember just recently they did a thing where they were talking about like the whole venting thing or whatever, and you're going to get a warning now if, I think that warning more or less is like, hey, jerk off, you're about to go into a spot, maybe put on your helmet, that kind of a whatever, but yeah, they were talking about
Need something
about
like
the
that.
dynamic decompression of rooms and whatnot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If
Good
you came
stuff.
out of you got out of the elevator, go into your ship, and they had like a warning that said, "Hey, jerk off! Put your stuff, put your helmet on." That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
A couple of things that stood out to me. One is the body dragon. You folks know I don't play the game much. It's like whenever a patch comes out, and I'll probably play some and then wait for the next patch. I just gotta say that the body dragon kind of it doesn't really impress me that much because you're all bobbing around. You look like you're causing more injury than helping. And
That's why they said they're making it better.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The other thing is, they said you can't kill someone with one headshot. You gotta do multiple headshots, and I think that'll tick some people off. But I think other people will be happy, especially when they have a lot of stuff on their character. So it's not really realistic, but I think the game needs it. How about that? What do people think about that? Multiple headshots instead of just one.
I would say that I definitely agree with the balance because the thing is, yes, you would say, or not you, but someone would say, and when you look at other FPS games, you'll take a certain small amount of hits and you're dead. But the thing is, this isn't just an FPS game; it's an MMO. And when you combine the aspects of an FPS with, say, an open world or an MMORPG, you require multiple hits because of things like distance and time from the home city or whichever where you respawn. So even though Star Citizen is shooting for some kind of realistic segment, you also have to take into account that despite it being an MMO, at least in my opinion, you have to still adopt certain aspects from open world games that have these challenges such as time and distance that some other FPS games don't necessarily need to worry about.
I think what you brought up with the headshot, it makes pretty good sense. Like if you look at, say, armor in general, if you have light, medium, and heavy. I mean, if I'm wearing a light armor helmet and you hit me with the sniper round, I should be dead. But perhaps if I'm wearing medium, I might be incapacitated because of the shock. Maybe I'm a little woozy from that because I got a minor concussion. And then if you're wearing heavy armor, maybe I can take a couple of those hits without having the armor be destroy that it just and I end up getting killed by the next round.
Well,
So
it depends. I think it would depend on the round too. But Gecko Jesus agrees with you. But it's one thing to brush off a sniper round from a sniper gun. It's another thing to brush off like a cannon from a tank or something like that.
well, I think it's something. This is something I brought up a week or two ago. Was that we have what is it, the missile launcher in game right now, and the 3 missile launcher thing. We got the rail gun, and I just look at that as current events. How strong is armor going to be? Are there going to be places that to take out a tank that are going to be really, really vulnerable, like the back end, or is it just super, super strong where you really need air support, like that Gatling size 7 Gatling gun to take it out easy? So it'll be interesting to see how strong these shoulder fired weapons are going to be towards stuff like that.
Yeah, I kind of think I'm sorry, Kai.
No, you go ahead.
I kind of think that there could be a possibility of them coming in sometime later on with shields on your personal armor. Where you have a battery or something that is generating a small shield, so that it's not. It kind of gives it a little bit more maybe realism to not getting shot in the head, and you kind of have to break through that shield a bit. Maybe it takes two or three shots from coordination from a couple of people or something like that.
I don't know. That kind of breaks into two kind of things. Kai, maybe you can understand this one too. The shields on the armor in Elite Dangerous, you can shoot at it all day and it keeps recharging. So it has to be some kind of a, it has to, it almost is like, I don't know. That kind of irks me in some certain ways, personal shield. But I mean, I could see maybe a little bit of, some kind of a shielding. That's okay, but it has to degrade and not recharge.
I'm not talking about an 890 jump shield on a person or anything. Some type of balance to it is a possibility that
maybe something that's stationary where you could deploy.
Some of you guys
sit behind cover.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of you guys might remember the old Ilphonic demonstration video that showed the Redeemer. And in that particular demonstration video, they had personal shields that looked like a little holographic disc. They dropped it on the ground, and like a bat shield popped up in front of them. There's still vulnerability that you can be hit from the left, right, and back, but at least it's right in front of you. I don't know if CIG is still going to go that route or not, but it was something that was at least being considered. Right, but it was just being considered. So I'm saying they have thought about something like that, but whether or not they will think it's balanced enough to do, or whether they'll say, but at least with that, you are vulnerable. It just only blocks you from the front. Somebody hits you from the side or the back, you're going to get hit.
I just want to say thank you to Adam Eve for becoming a soulmate.
Thank you, Adam.
Adam Eve, soulmate. Thank you.
And there's some debate in YouTube chat. I almost called it Twitch chat again. There's some debate in chat about personalized armors, personalized shield. Some people want it. Some people say no. You don't want to become a sponge FPS gameplay. So yeah, I don't see them implementing personalized armor because that'd be too much like Mass Effect, and I think they kind of want to not copy that or imitate that. But I personally would like to see a personalized shield, but I don't think they're going to go that route.
Yeah, you can balance it out. You can balance it out in another way as well, to say that you have the ability to temporarily personal shield, like put up a little shield wall or whatever, but that it's so energy intensive that you can only put it up for like a 5-second burst or something. There's like lots of there's just a million different things that you could do with that to find the right balance. And we have to keep in mind that you're talking about a space game in the 1,000 years in the future, with spaceships and alloys and whatever, where you could end up with just really good helmets that can take 2 or 3 shots, and that's not that unusual when you can like, oh, this is some weird ablative, whatever. But I don't I think no matter what, when you get to the point, Fastcart, you were like, tank round, whatever. I think we could all agree, if you take a tonk round to the head, that should probably just end the story right there, no matter what you're wearing.
I don't know. You haven't met me yet, but I have a pretty hard head.
I want to touch base on
my mom would tell you.
I want to touch base on what Fastcart said and what Kaizen said, because you both kind of brought up what I was thinking. And as most people know, I'm playing Mass Effect 2 right now, and I'm having a great time. But there are times when that shield goes down, and I'm sitting there like on my, with my pulse going because I'm almost dead, and I'm just kind of like waiting for this stupid thing to recharge because I can't stick my head out. And then I think about A Fistful of Datas, where Worf is in the holodeck fighting all these, data lookalikes, and he was able to make a tiny shield that would last like 5 seconds or so, or 1 second. And I think that makes a lot of sense, where if you say you have say it replaces the med gun, or the tractor beam thing, and you put it on your side, and it gives you a 5-second charge, and it takes 5 minutes for it to recharge. I think that's a really good workaround, and it's enough to get out of that, like to get behind like a rock, or to get away from a rock where you get shot in the head and you're like, oh crap, I need to get out of here, and it gives you, I got 5 seconds to run.
Or
So I think-
consumable.
But the shield has to have a health point though too.
Yeah. Well, it won't. You can't. You're not going to take a railgun round with it.
Yeah,
It could also
And
be a
I also-
consumable.
Yeah, that's true. And I also wanted to throw in, we can't forget that they're going to eventually come out with mech suits. So that's going to have
the
another
Titan suit.
right. That's going to have another dimension. Whether or not the Titan suit is industrial, I don't know, or whether or not it has military capability, or maybe they'll come out with both. But that's
They may come out
that
with both,
is
but
shield.
the concept art was definitely military.
Yeah.
So the Nox has shields, right? The smaller, like the Dragonfly, has shields too.
Those both have shields.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the Titan armor would have a shield then. At least
Right.
that would be reasonable.
I
We'll
don't know
see,
about
because
that. Yeah.
the hover quad doesn't have a
so.
shield.
Yeah.
Well, the
No,
hover quad's like the only
point,
thing without a
the point of
shield.
it is the point
For
of
now.
it is it's armored. That's the whole point of it. And I mean, you could possibly have shields on it. I mean, again, there's a lot of speculation about this because, this idea of shielding. I know a lot of the things that people hated in Odyssey was the and correct me if I'm wrong, Kai and DK, was they were shooting at people and they were just bullet sponging like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was extremely frustrating to players. I'm talking about headshots and everything. It didn't make a difference.
Yeah, so there's two separate aspects that were a problem with Odyssey with regard to that. The first is super bullet spongy and when you have super bullet spongy, that takes away a lot of the tactics, because now it's just a matter of you can just disengage and run away and whatever, and you can pretty much always live. That's one issue. The other issue is they went with an awkward way to handle that personal shield issue, where you literally had to have two weapons of two varying types. You had to have a laser weapon just to chew through shields, because your kinetic weapon was absolute crap at shields. And then you had to have a kinetic weapon to shoot through body armor and kill someone, because your laser weapon was crap at that. So there were two awkward things there. And I 100% agree. Number one, I hope to God that CIG does not go that route, because it just is bafflingly dumb and bad gameplay. But in addition to that, I hope that CIG finds the right balance between too quick to die and too bullet spongy. There's a sweet spot in the middle there that is I think they'll probably find well.
What do you think the time to kill should be?
It's not a time to kill.
I think it depends a lot on the armor. I think the time to kill should be a ratio that is created by the choice of weapon you employ and the choice of armor that your target employs. If I'm walking around in Microtech and or what is that Cloud City? I forget. Crusaders. Orison. Yeah, I'm walking around on Orison in a tuxedo with no hat at all, and you get a headshot on me with just about anything stronger than a BB gun. Yeah, it should kill me. But if I'm running around in a combat helmet, that should make it much more of a different thing, which can then add for interesting gameplay loops of, hey man, I took a mission to assassinate this dude who absolutely is not wearing any helmet at all. I can take one shot from far away and get it done. I spent
$1,000 to get that top hat. That top hat better protect me from at least one bullet.
Well, so the top hat, the top hat actually is triple armored, and the monocle deploys a PDC. It's yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
That's how
You're
it
good.
goes.
You're good.
All right.
I'm picturing fastcart as Mr. Peanut.
All right, I'll take
He's
that.
the top hat and the monocle.
Mm-hmm.
I did forget one topic, so this will be pretty quick. But this is before we get to the Machinima. But it won't be on in Discord. It'll be on the stream. So I forgot to talk about Tuesday Trivia. So Tuesday Trivia is something to do bi-weekly or almost every weekly. It depends on what CIG feels like. But the Tuesday Trivia for this week was: can you name all the intelligent alien races that came into direct contact with humanity? So, first, I'm not going to give you any hint. Does anyone know how many alien races humanity has come into direct contact?
I know
In
two.
game, that is.
Thinking
Two.
four?
That I know of.
3 or 4?
Four, I believe four.
Oh, no,
I believe it's four.
Two that I know.
Okay, so what is a four?
Okay, what is the four?
The Xian,
Okay,
the Vandal.
Xian, Vandal. No, okay, I got Xian, Vandal, Tavarin,
Banu.
and Banu.
I knew.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there a fifth that got wiped or something?
Tavarin. No, you already said that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Don't forget them.
Man,
No, and the Kutok are the alien races, the alien race that we have not been in contact with, but they're on the far side of the Vandal space, so that's the fifth race, but we haven't
That's the
been in
one I
contact
was
with them.
Yeah, that's the one I
Right.
was thinking of.
All right.
What's a Kathak? Is that the Kathak? Which one's that?
It's KR.
The Kurthak. It's like Kurthak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the alien language I was talking about at the beginning of the show, right?
I didn't know what that language was at the beginning of the
Yeah, you're right. It might be. You never know. They might speak it that way.
Yeah, the Kutok are soulful species, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So up next we have the Machinima, and the Machinima today is from Elite Expeditionary, Overclocked Series Episode 2, Mayday Marauders. So here we go.
Right, so all I gotta do is get rid of the body, yeah?
Nah, guy named Glitch is gonna take care of that.
Glitch? What kind of name is that?
Guy gets off dissolving him in acid. He ain't right in the head, you'll see.
I'm not sure I want to.
Just make sure you grab the right one. Better hurry. Feds will be on top of that wreck pretty soon.
No, bloody hell. Poor bastard. You Glitch?
The name is Francis Green. I am my mother's only son.
Whatever you say, pal. Where do you want this body dumped?
Do not dump it. Strip it down and lay it flat on its back. Eyes toward the sky.
You gotta be shitting me.
Do as I say.
Do not let him fluster you, Francis. He is but a lesser being.
Yes, Mother. Francis will obey. Why do they still mock me, Mother? What am I to do with all of this anger?
Do not worry about these things, my son.
I hate them, Mother. With each one that I burn, I wish there were 10 more.
Continue your harvest, my dear son. The day of judgment is near. As you grow more powerful,
the world shall burn. Yes, Mother. The sound of another ship, Mother.
Go, Francis. Take what's given unto thee.
Oh, shit! Don't panic! Shit! Oh, shit!
Blessings abound, brother. The ship has fared the strike well.
Alas, I fear the souls still lurk aboard such an untainted vessel.
Clear thinking, brother. Shall I venture forth and expel such trepidations with vengeance?
Nay, brother. As you are in favor with our fallen on this day, go forth alone as I bear witness to thee.
Blessings abound, brother. I am not with the fallen this day. Wish me well.
Praise be.
Told you not to panic. That was one hell of a landing, though.
We crashed.
Anything you can walk away from is a landing, in my book.
I think my leg is broken.
Touché.
Are we safe?
As long as we're in here, we have the upper hand. There's nothing out there but open desert now.
Couldn't they just blow us up again?
No, they want this thing intact. More valuable that way.
Do not let them take what is yours.
It shall be done, Mother.
Behold your power.
Please tell me you've got another weapon somewhere.
A pistol. Somewhere.
Better than nothing. I want you to keep this rifle trained on the door. Shoot anything that moves while I look for the pistol.
Wait, have we put out a rescue beacon yet?
It'll just attract more trouble, especially out here. We can hold out a few more days.
There's
we should be able to.
something I should tell you.
I can't believe this. And you're actually gonna make me pay for fuel and maintenance too?
I don't know.
You don't know? Your uncle is the CEO of Mawashi Industrial Starflight Concern.
I'm not my fucking uncle, okay? I'm my own person, making my own way.
Making your own way with a safety net the size of Crusader.
I cut ties with my family. Completely.
But they're tracking your ship.
If I could stop them from doing that, I would.
Surprised the whole goddamn Navy isn't here already.
Look, I'm in the same fucking place you are right now, aren't I? Shot down in the middle of a fucking desert.
No. You chose this path. I didn't.
Hold it. Do not make any sudden moves.
You the asshole that shot us down?
The one who shot you down was but a servant to my needs. This wreck is mine.
It's all yours. Just let us go.
Not without saying goodbye. Shall I take them both, Mother? Dusters.
You okay? The hell you doing all alone way out here?
Looking for a way out, I guess.
Well, today's your lucky day. Come on, we'll get you somewhere safe.
Jesus. What a mess.
Anything left in that freelancer?
It's empty. Looks like someone was shot and dragged out through.
No shit?
Yeah. Any sign of the crew out there?
Nah. Nothing out here but dead duster scum, man.
I swear this place is cursed.
The universe has lent us female boy to balance our sacrifice.
The smell is sweet for once. She is cooking well, mother.
You must find the other one before it's too late.
Yes, mother. Francis will obey.
What was that?
The heck? Okay.
Oh my! Oh my! I have a lot to talk about on that one, but I'll wait my turn.
Yes,
I'll wait my
I
turn.
I just want to say, when he started to call him mother, I had mad psycho vibes from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go in order. Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
That was crazy. That was pretty wild. I was a little, everything was great. The guy was really crazy. I don't want to get. It's just a lot of stuff to take in. The one part I was a little confused at was when the motorcycles or whatever speeders got there, and then there was like that swap where the inside was gone, and then I guess she was chasing the other girl out. Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know exactly what happened to the girl at the end. I don't know if she's in a cage or if she's becoming a soup.
She got eaten.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She was.
So yes, it was really good. Pretty
Dark
wild.
Knight, what are your thoughts?
I swear there were times I was watching that and I was not even thinking that it was in Star Citizen, that it was actual show. Like just the way that they have progressed through the story and how they were telling the story and the use of visuals. Their cinematography was on point in this one. There really was. They shot this almost film-like, and it just seems like they're getting better and better with every single episode. The music was good, I thought. The timing was it was good. There were some places where I felt it was a little bit. I can't say that as a criticism. Overall, it was just very well timed out. I mean, they're getting good. These guys are getting really, really good. I enjoyed every bit of it. I can't wait to see more. I mean, like I said, this didn't even look like it was out of Star Citizen. I swear it almost felt like a animated series, a movie or something. You know, this is really cool. Really cool.
So Griffin put up a poll. Did you enjoy tonight's Machinima Overclock? I think you can only apply if vote if you're live. So you're watching this on a later date. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead and reply to the poll. Face to face, what are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness! When I first saw Francis, he reminded me of, "Hello, my name is Indigo Montoya, and you killed my mother.
Well, beyond that,
Prepare to die." He reminded me so much of that. But then when I heard that voice that was in his head, I was like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on here?
In his head, though.
But see, but that's the way they characterized it as when you look at it, though, right? That's the way they characterized it because you don't see it. Obviously, when I was looking throughout the throughout this feature, you know, I was trying to look for some type of device that it was coming from, but they never showed it. Maybe they will show it later on. You know what I'm saying? So for right now, all you can speculate, it's a voice that's in his head. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it I guess you could say a being that's attached to him? Could be. You never know, or something like that. But this, I mean, the development of that character right there. I mean, wow. Yeah. I mean, bravo. You know.
Don't matter. What are your thoughts?
I think the sound design was great, especially. No, I'm just kidding. Everything was really good. I liked the twist at the end. You know, they showed the bloodstained floor, and he was like, "Yeah, it smells good in here. We got to find the other one." Like she was part of the recipe or something. Yeah, that was kind of. Yeah, that was. Now, was this chick supposed to be like some secret agent or something? Because she jumped out of that ship and went ham, and apparently killed all those dusters, and made it out alive. So, like, who is she?
I don't know.
That's Ava.
I don't know if
Isn't that Ava?
the other guy killed him.
Yeah, that was Ava.
Yeah,
This is Ava. So I'm thinking that this isn't going way back before she died. So this is kind of like going back, right?
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch the first.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because if you look at it, all right. Because I'm just saying before we move on, if you look at it at the end when she meets the guy and the prospector, that's the dude that she was
That was
on.
from the first episode.
Right, exactly. So this has to be, you know, within the past.
It started out saying that it was earlier. It was before.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Ben, what
Yeah,
do you think?
I'm about to go back and watch all of them.
Yep.
All right.
So super the cinematography, it's already been stated by other people, but the cinematography was top notch. It literally, this is not being created by people who this is being created by somebody who is in some way in the industry. Maybe somebody went to film school or somebody who whatever, because the way you start it sometimes with the talking with the black screen and then it comes in mid conversation, the weird hooks, the music interludes, the framing, the composition, all of it is 100%. You know, it's obvious that it's like that. Hey, Nubifier in the house. Hello, sir. And then the other thing is, cannot wait for 8 episodes from now when Francis is sitting in the attic talking with his mom, and then he turns around and it's just a skeleton in the chair. Yeah, 100%. 100% psycho vibes. 100% psycho vibes. Calling it.
All right.
Calling it.
I like that.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Karate, what are your thoughts?
I was really glad to see the character development as well as the acting from that character with whichever voice or wherever that voice is coming from. I was a bit sad to see that the other girl was turned into soup so early. I would like to see another episode where we heard more of her character, or we saw more of her character development. Because I did feel when she talked about, or when she revealed a certain truth about her father and everything, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna develop her character more. So I'd have liked to see some more of that. But either way, that was good, as well as the character development and all of the the choreography and all that. I really enjoyed it.
Well, karate, like in the 70s hack and slasher horror movies or whatever, it's always the girl who shows her boobs or whatever is the first to die. In this case, if you do a monologue where you happen to work the F word into like 4 times in one sentence, then they just got to kill you and turn you into soup. It's the same thing.
You make a point there, yeah.
She was a little heavy on the expletives in her little talk.
I didn't see her get shot. I just saw it again. I didn't realize she got shot.
Yeah. He was like, I'm trying to say goodbye, and then he pulled the trigger. He's like, yeah.
All right. That was Kalwadi, right?
Yep.
Okay, Pops, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I have to echo DK first because there were parts in here. I'm like, is this Star Citizen? Yeah, they did an excellent job because the eyes. I'm like, do we have are our eyes like that?
Moist eyes.
Moist.
That could be the name of the 90s.
And you know, echoing Kai. This was done great from top to bottom. You know, and the only thing I agree with Cal Roddy. I wish they didn't kill her because I wish we had more time in the developing that character. But maybe there'll be some kind of flashbacks or something in the next one. But we'll see.
Yeah, my only complaint was that I couldn't understand some of what Mother was saying because she was too modulated, and they didn't have the subtitles for some of what she was saying. So I have to try to go back and boost up the volume to see if I can try to understand her more. But
Totally
that's my only
understandable.
thing. Griffin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we've said this before that the guys over at Elite Expeditionary have been just doing a really great job with putting these together. I agree with Kai, and I think we all kind of made this observation before that there's some professional work done here. In this particular one, I have to give, someone mentioned earlier, I think Gomob, you said about the sound design. We commented about that before. But this time, I have to compliment them on story. The story was just very compelling. It was done well. The acting was done well. The graphics and visual were just the icing on the cake. For me, this one, it was the story and this unfolding. It's just gotten better and better. So I'm also impressed at their use of lighting. They don't have the luxury to set up lighting in this game. You can't go in and set up lights and create the scenarios you want. But they're being very conscious about where light is coming from, how it's striking the characters when you want to have a feeling of, like the example of the ship being down. You actually felt like the ship was powered down and not operating because of the way they shot it. They obviously could have shot it in a brighter scenario, but they made sure that they didn't. The close-ups were good. The fact of even which armor types they're using armors that, I think that the armor that the main chick was wearing is the one that's the what's that Rust Society armor?
Yeah.
Nobody wears the Rust Society armor, but it looked good on her, So it's just I like the fact that they're just utilizing every tool in the toolbox. They're not gravitating toward the favorite things. They got the freelancer in here. It was just good stuff. It was really good stuff. And the Norman Bates piece just kind of made it even creepier.
Oh, Norman Bates, thank you.
And by the way, fastcart, you're not showing your age yet. Norman Bates was 1960, not the 70s, 1960. So you got to go back further.
So that dude was a cross though. He was part Norman Bates. He definitely had the Norman Bates 100%. But you know what else he had? He had Jubil Early. Remember from the last episode of Firefly, it was that character who was like, here's this weird dude who's hunting you. That is, he's got a weird name. He's very precise in his mannerisms and whatever. He's fastidious. And I can't believe that I actually pulled that word out. But like that dude, Francis, is like half Norman Bates, half Jubal Early.
Now I'm gonna have to say I have to go back and have one discrepancy here because I'm always kind of a realist when I watch movies and stuff. Because she had her gun drawn on him, right? And he had his gun drawn on her. Now, when he said, and she said to him specifically, "You gonna let us go?" And he said, "Yeah," but before they say, she should have shot him right there. Before that, as soon as he was getting ready to say goodbye, all he had to do was say, "Boom," right there, because you know it was coming.
Well,
So-
no, that's you. That's you. You can't put that on her.
I always put myself in this
maybe.
position.
If it was the other woman, maybe. If it was the other woman, maybe. But that other woman, I'm not so sure she was that trigger happy to pop somebody like that.
Yeah,
So.
she's the the daughter of a rich person, right? So yeah, sheltered. By the way,
you could get out of it.
the poll has been up. We have 18 votes, and I think it's like maybe 16-2. maybe.
Approximately. But either way it
Okay.
goes, just give the percentages. 89% liked it, 11% said no. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's favored. That's pretty cool.
So because of that, is
Good
there
percentage.
anything that we don't like about it? Because it's obvious there's two people who didn't like it at all. So
Those people need to come in Discord. I'm not going to try and guess what their
Right.
brain is thinking.
Right.
If you want to come in, you're more than welcome to come in and tell us what you didn't like about it.
I will say I
Yeah.
loved the fact that they had a prospector at the end. That was a pleasant surprise. I was like, "Ooh, my prospector's there."
I'll
Well,
tell
it
you right
fit.
now, those two people that voted against it, they said it needed more fastcart.
That's
We'll
it.
see. We'll see.
Water.
Yeah, my my only complaint was I couldn't understand some of what Mother was saying because it was too modulated. But other than that, it was great.
Yeah, she definitely
so-
the voice of the mother character was like from the Harry Potter, the snake dude, where it was very simple and
Good one.
yeah.
You put
Reminded
me
me
on
of
all the
Skyrim.
No, I
all
actually
the
thought about
references
that.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was very well done. I like that. The one thing for that, we kind of moving forward, but for that voice, I'm glad that what they did was they made it clear for that voice and when they modulated, because I see that they panned the regular voice to one side and they
That
pitched
way
it
it wasn't
down.
stacked. It wasn't
They
stacked.
they pitched it down and panned it to the left.
Right. Yeah. I did notice that.
I'm gonna have to get you to translate for me after the show.
Mhm.
So,
If
up
you know
next we
parcel
have-
tongue, you can get it.
Up next we have another virtual boss citizen coming up. It's April 2nd. Oh, I didn't put. Can you put the link in YouTube chat for me, Kusanagi?
Yeah, hold on.
So yes, so it'll be 4 p.m. Eastern, and that is noon UTC. So yes, on Saturday, April 2nd. So check us out. Hopefully we get the link in. Remember, you'll receive confirmation, an email detailing the meeting. But yeah, it should be another fun event. We're doing this with Yacht Club again. So join them and all the others should be there too. So looking forward to it. You want to say anything about this, Griffin?
No, there's the information is there for us in the chat. We had a great time as always. This is going to be actually the precursor to Invictus, and we'll be having one 2 months later, right after Invictus, as a follow-up. So we definitely want to tell folks to register for this. We've had averaging between 70 to 100 people at the last few. We've had people from CIG who've sat in. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. But they actually someone has almost been there every time we've had. I think someone has been there every time we've done it.
Yeah,
so
every time.
hopefully we'll have someone there this time, but hopefully you guys will be able to join us for it. We have a really great time.
If you guys
As you
love
can
Star
see-
Citizen, you have to come to this. This is fantastic. If you're available, this is amazing.
And as you can see, those are previous group pictures that were taken from the previous bus citizen. So yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Hey, there's me in my truck.
Also, PAX East is coming up, so we may have a bus citizen for that too, or maybe a small event. So maybe that's Saturday of the last April, and the last weekend of April should be PAX East. So, cross your fingers for that. All right, with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us. We had Amo Kusanagi, Dark Knight, Fitspace, Gomab, Kaizen, Kalwadi, and Popface, and my co-host, Griffin Gaming RPG. I hope everybody had fun.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Of course.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitch, because this is YouTube this time. And Twitter, Instagram, everything is Soul Citizen, right, Griffin?
Yeah, and guys, thank you so much. Those of you who joined our memberships, we came over here because there were people who they use YouTube. Some people don't use Twitch, and you guys have been really supporting us. So thank you. In fact, our show last week was one of the highest shows that we had in views on YouTube. So thank you guys for spreading the word. Those of you who tweet and let people know, because this transition from Twitch to YouTube is new for some people, and we know some people didn't catch it even though we tweeted ourselves. So thank you for retweeting and letting people know that we're over here on YouTube on Thursday nights. And yeah, we're really excited about being here. We got more to come. We got some more stuff. We'll tell you guys about that next week, but there's more coming to YouTube from us. So get ready to check that out.
And if you want to support us, you can become a Soul Bro Associate or Soulmate on YouTube, or you can subscribe to us on Twitch. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe for us on this show right here. So we really appreciate that. So thank you very much. And I just want to say, tip a tie on my Capitan, and peace, love, and soul.
Wait! You can't go anywhere. You didn't plug Sunday show.
Oh, yep. You're right.
You had one job. You had one job.
One job.
The Sunday show. You want to take a Griffin? Because I'm
Oh my God, we're already logged out. Okay, you're gonna bring us back? Okay, it went out for a second. It went to credits. You brought it back. Okay. Yeah, guys, this Sunday we're continuing with our series on careers, and we're going to be talking about data and intelligence. So those of you who want to blow the dust off of your, what's it called? The Drake,
the Herald.
The Herald.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are misusing the MSR, and for those of you who are not doing anything with your Terrapin, you guys can join us this weekend because we're going to be talking about data and intelligence and surveillance, all that good stuff. I mean, there's some of you guys like being sneaky and spying, so we're going to be talking about that this weekend. So hopefully you guys can join us at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. We'll be on Twitch. Don't forget the Sunday show. Sunday show is on Twitch, gang. Sunday's on Twitch.
Tip a tie on my Capitan. Peace, love, and soul.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, don't forget to check out fastcart on OnlyFans.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes.